we have seen that we have three different sets of permissions. One for the user, another one for the group, and another one for other users. And we have the read, write, and execute flag for each group. But that's not entirely true. We have another set of permissions, the special permissions. The special permissions are the set UID, set group ID, and the sticky bit. In this video, we will see how to set those permissions using symbolic and octal mode, and we will see the meaning of those bits in other videos. So first, we will see how to set those bits using the symbolic mode. So for example, here we have a file. To set the set UID bit, what we do is to use fetch mode u plus s and then the file. Okay, u plus s, with using plus s we are adding the sticky bit, the set UID bit for that file. Okay, so if we do that and we check the permissions again, we can see here an uppercase S. Okay, the uppercase S or a lowercase s will mean that the set UID bit will be set for that file, and you can see that the color changed because this is a dangerous operation. We will see it later. And but we see that this S is in the same place as the X, in the same place that we have where we have the X before. So how can we tell apart if we have the X or not set for that file? Because just now we don't know if that file is or not. We can execute or not that file. Well, the rule is if we have an uppercase S, that means that we only have the set UID bit. Okay, set UID bit. And if we have a lowercase s, then we will have the set UID plus the execute bit. Okay, so for example, we have here an uppercase s, so we don't have an execute flag for the user. So if we change mode, make that file executable for the user, then we can see here a lowercase s for that file. Setting the set group ID bit is similar to setting the set UID bit, but we will use the group instead of the user. So for example, I will reset the permissions for that file. For example, you here. Okay, I have reset the permissions. See, if I want to set the set group ID bit, then I will use group plus s to the file, and it works the same way as the set UID. An uppercase s means that we don't have the executable flag here, and a lowercase s means that we have the set group ID and the executable flag for the group. The third flag is the sticky bit. To set the sticky bit, we use the plus T or minus T, depending if we want to set the sticky bit or not. So if I set the sticky bit for the file, you can see here that we have a T, an uppercase T for the file. The same rule applies as the set UID and set group ID. If I change that file and make it executable for the user, then I will have a lowercase t. So that's the way of setting the special bits using the symbolic mode. We can also use the octal mode for setting those bits. Remember that for setting the permissions using octal mode, we transform each set of permissions into an octal digit. So for example, imagine that we want to keep, I will reset the permissions again. Okay. Imagine that we want to set the special bits using the octal mode. Then I will copy here, for example, the same permissions. In this case, I have read and write permissions, read and write permissions, and read permissions. Okay, so the last 3 bits of the permissions will be 6, 6, 4. Okay, I will use 64 for set those permissions, and then I will add an extra bit and an extra digit before with the bits that I want to set. So for example, in case I want to set the set group ID and the sticky bit, then this will be a 3. So if I set 364, then I will set those permissions plus the set group ID and the sticky bit permissions. So here, if I do that, I run, then I can see that I set the set group ID and the sticky bit permissions. So in case that I don't specify a fourth octal digit, those bits won't be modified. So for example, imagine that we use 777 here. Okay, and no, in this case it will be take as a 0 and the special bits will be cleared. Okay, so using the octal mode, we have an extra digit here at first, and with that that digit we can set the special bits, and we can also use the symbolic mode.